now listening to Snuff, Magee and Friends. Irrelevance in the Dungeon.
Snuff, Magee and Friends, Irrelevance in the Dungeon, Episode 8.
Ocho.
I am Snuff McGee, joined by...
What up, it's your boy Arch.
Hey, this is NaQuetta.
Yo, this is Pook D.
What's going on, fellas? How y'all been doing?
All right.
Man, can't complain. Another week in the dungeon. I think I'm doing great. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Now, with this episode, this is supposed to be the Joe Morrissey episode, but we got a no-show by Joe today, so...
How's the moniker go?
The Joe No-Show.
Joe No Show. Oh, man.
No show.
We're going to call this a Joe No-Show.
J No Show.
Yeah, we got Golden State and Toronto. Toronto's up 2-1. I haven't seen Kawhi. Kawhi hasn't done anything yet. I think that...
He just been normal Kawhi, you know, like... I don't feel like like you said, I don't feel like he's done anything special. You know, it's most been Toronto's team, and then it's also been Golden State, you know, with their injuries and all that thing. Like, I feel like that's playing a major role in why, you know, they're struggling. But another fact is, you know, Kevin Durant is going to be out another night. I don't know the status of Klay Thompson. I don't know
Playing tonight.
He's playing tonight?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's another added element for Steph.
Who believes that injury is really, really bad on KD?
I think it's worse than, you know, they make it out to be.
Do you think he worth that money then? Because he keep getting hurt. He stay hurt. Is he worth a max deal if every year he's hurt? He just had the foot fracture a couple years ago.
I mean, he's still, you know,
that's
top,
KD, man.
Yeah, he's top.
I mean, once he gets better, he always performs.
Yeah, he performed, but he don't stay healthy long enough.
I mean, he's a
To
league
complete the
MVP.
job.
He's a 2-time Finals MVP. I mean, his resume speaks for itself. I mean, that's a supermax contract right there. I mean, this year, I mean, they're saying he's the best player in the NBA. You know, I'm still, with me, it's between Bron and Kawhi, just based off, you know, all-around game. But
Yeah.
he's a scorer, 7 foot, score whenever he wants.
I know one thing. They showed that Steph can't win by himself.
Yeah,
He ain't no LeBron.
Yeah, he see how it's been for LeBron. Well, you know, the first finals between Golden State when Kyrie was out, you know, it was just Bron by himself. I mean, but everybody says Steph is Dolo, but I mean, you got Iguodala, who's a Finals MVP. You got Cousins, who's a multiple-time All-Star.
Yeah,
But I think Cousins still hurt, man.
Well,
he ain't had no lift.
You said with Durant. I mean, is Cousins worth any money?
Playing, though.
Is he worth any money though?
That was the question. He
Cousins
didn't get no
is there.
money to
I don't
go
know if
there,
he's
though.
playing.
He didn't get no money even to go there. They was the last team, like I said, they was the last team to pick him up. I don't think his contract is for a lot.
It's not. I think he signed like a 1 year, $5 million.
Yeah, he was planning on coming there, playing good, and then going and get a deal somewhere else.
I mean, it's good that y'all are talking about the players. Can we make sure we show Aisha a little bit of appreciation?
Oh yeah, I forgot. You know.
Yeah.
Show her some love.
Shout out to
Nice.
shout out to
Supporting her
Aisha.
husband. We want to appreciate Mrs. Curry.
Speaking of the sideline people, did you see the fan that pushed Kyle Lowry the other night?
No, hold on.
Yeah.
That wasn't a fan.
Well,
I thought that was
that was
a-
the owner.
That was the owner.
Well, yeah. I was going to get to that.
He got banned for a whole year.
And he
They said he was a
I
fan
wonder
at
what he
first.
said to him, though.
I don't know if he got banned for a whole
but-
year. I don't know. Did he get banned for the remainder of the season or he got banned for the next year?
And got
Until this
fined.
day.
My thing was they said he was banned for a year and it was a $500,000 fine.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But the issue is, what if Lowry would have retaliated?
That's what I'm saying.
What would he get suspended?
Yeah.
What would-
It would have been way worse for Lowry.
Retaliate.
Yeah, because the perception would have been that was against a fan.
Yeah.
That's how the media would have sold it.
I wonder, did he know who that guy was?
Nah, he didn't.
I don't know.
Oh, he didn't?
Who knows?
Oh,
Who
I mean,
knows?
Nobody really knew.
that's what I'm saying.
What do you think about the Beehive? Like,
I don't know.
or as a community, the Beehive as a community. What do
I
you think about
am
that?
a member, a proud
Oh
member.
Lord!
Do you think she was
Oh,
crazy? Because my mama
I
called
am
me
a
this
proud
morning and was
member of
like,
the Beehive.
You know what?
But I would
don't want no
never
harm coming
say
towards my way.
some of the stuff that some of the Beehive members say.
my mama called me this morning and was like, yo, Beyonce is kind of strikey, then. I was like,
But it's
wow.
not
She was
Beyonce though. It's not Beyonce.
She started it.
How did she start
But
it?
my
Did you
whole
see her
thing is,
face
if I'm
stuff?
sitting there,
Bro, how she
and
started with a
let's-
facial expression?
Now, let's take it being my husband out of the equation.
Yeah.
If I am a fan of basketball and I am watching the game, an important game, this is not just a regular little shoot around game. This is a big game, and I'm watching the game. I don't want nobody all in my space distracting me. I'm trying to watch a game here. You can
Okay.
talk to my husband. You can email him. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? You can reach out to his publicist.
Okay.
But I'm watching the game, and it didn't even seem like Beyonce was mad because, oh, you talking to my man. She's used to that. Her man
Yeah.
is who he is. But it's just like, bro, I'm trying to watch the game. I'm a woman, and when I watch sports, I tell my kids, okay, here, you can do, the game. You can do the iPad. Let mom watch the game.
Yeah, but the lady just said, she reached over and said,
She did. She
do
issued a
y'all want
statement.
something to drink? I get my person to bring y'all something to drink. So
Yeah, that was a long, but she was talking
Thank
for a
you.
long period of
They showed
time.
the video, and it was a good amount of time because Beyonce. I mean, her and Jay-Z. It was one time that the camera went on them, and they were
Yeah.
waving at everybody.
Yeah, I saw
and then
that.
it was another time the lady she moved back so that they could wave. Then she came back like, okay, Sean, about this, da-da-da. And it's like. We just want to watch the game. And Beyonce might have been the type that's like, you know what, this lady is annoying me, and I know she's annoying my husband, but he's so nice he ain't gonna say nothing. So I'm just like,
That's the collective
look
perspective
that I
that it
got.
came. Yeah,
You know,
it was like
and I
Jay was
was-
I ain't
annoyed.
thought she was acting distracted. I just thought she was just like,
yeah,
she ain't want no parts of it.
yeah, I didn't.
Or you
And
never know.
it might not even been a conversation for Beyonce.
Mm-hmm.
Like, have you ever been in a situation where, your wife or significant other, y'all are somewhere, and somebody's like, okay, well, such and such, but you standing right there, and it's like, you're
Yeah.
right there, and they just talking around you. That's annoying,
Yeah.
as can be.
I mean,
Who
I
just said she wasn't looking at something else and making her face for something else
Yeah, like
that was going
ooh,
on? Yeah.
like 'cause
it
it's a
won't even
basketball
thinking about
game.
that.
It's a sporting event. I'm paying
I think the
attention to
media
that.
just blowed it out of
They blow
proportion.
everything up that
know what I
Beyonce
say.
does, and that's why the Beehive has to go so hard because Beyonce ain't gonna say nothing about it.
Well, this isn't the first time we've seen where Beyonce.
Well, her PR did say something. Her
She
publicist
looked-
said.
Yeah, her publicist told the Beehive like, okay, in everything you do in defense of Beyonce, make sure you do it in love. Like, that's one thing Beyonce is not with is the hate. And the Beehive, they needed somebody to check them because they do go super hard.
Too ham.
Like, and I
Yeah.
don't know why, because
Real hard.
Beyonce has said it on more than one occasion that she can handle her own, but they just feel like she's not doing it quick enough. Let's go.
Shout out to the love that we used to get out the trunk from pumping CDs.
Oh my goodness.
Whether it was our
They don't
own
know that
content
struggle.
No, they don't.
They don't
or
know
it
that
was any other artist. You know what I'm saying? It could be
A
like
lot of these artists don't know the grind.
Yes.
You know how people used to have to grind
They
before
had
they
to
made
grind
it.
for that.
They
Grind.
were grinding for years, 2 or 3 years before they get that hit.
I knew boys
Now-
that was getting up 2-3 hours before they had to go to school, trying to print off their little CD, get all the tracks on there to sell it at lunch. Kids don't know now.
They just put it on SoundCloud.
They just put it on
and be-
SoundCloud or YouTube and hope something pop. Or
Yep.
TikTok.
And plus
Oh, that's
stuff.
something new. I never heard of
stuff,
that one.
Stuff
You
is
never heard
so.
TikTok? It used to be Musically.
I mean TikTok. I heard TikTok.
Oh,
But,
okay.
Plus
But
stuff
TikTok
now.
musically, that's
it's
something
so
different.
it's so
Yeah,
fast.
My daughter told me about it.
Oh Lord,
She had a T-shirt.
Mama, you don't know about TikTok.
And
TikTok.
that's the way she carried me. I was like, no. She was like, Mom, it's like a big deal. I was like, whatever. And then I went online. I was like, oh, you're right.
It's booming.
What y'all think about music? How it doesn't last? A song will be hot on Monday and be forgotten on Friday.
Well, I think we live in a microwave society. Like everybody.
How long you think that's gonna last? Is you think that's
It's not going to last long. That's why now
As it should
people
be.
are in their feelings about things like Beyonce doing the Before I Let Go remake. They're like,
thought she
don't
did a
mess.
good job.
I thought it was phenomenal. And the
Yeah.
reason I can tell
She could do what she want to do.
I told everybody.
I don't care for it.
Why not?
What?
I
All right, don't be coming back
Well,
next
the
year.
original.
Like, that joint's hot.
Do you believe the original is better than
Well, for me, the reason
Beyonce?
I like the Before I Let Go remake is because in my mind, like you said earlier, I know what black artists went through to get their music out back in the day, and I know they were raped when it came to
Everybody
the
was
money.
raped.
So I really believe, and I think that's why Frankie Beverly is so hype about her doing it. I really believe Frankie Beverly is going to get paid what he's owed
Yeah.
and what he deserves because of her remaking it.
That's very
Yeah.
true.
That
I
is true.
don't.
That
I
is true.
mean, for Frankie Beverly to be 77 years old and still touring,
Still
that hurts
doing
my
it.
heart.
No,
Because he shouldn't have to be out there grinding the way he does. Like,
Yeah.
Frankie Beverly is legit booked almost every weekend.
But you think about how many of them old artists like that still having a tour to make ends meet because they didn't get paid off them. Half of them don't even own the songs they singing.
But I remember when I was from back in the day. Frankie he would come to Richmond like 4 times a year.
yeah.
Well, he was
Yeah.
from. He was
I
from.
mean,
he was from here though. Frankie never.
Well, it wasn't.
Frank, hold on,
he's
hold on.
constantly on the road.
You said Frankie Beverly is from Richmond?
He's
from
Virginia.
Goochland.
Somewhere.
Oh, is
think
it
he's from
Goochland?
Goochland,
Okay,
yeah.
that's cool. That's great.
Now,
I think
I thought Maze is like they're based out of Philly or something.
Yeah.
Was
Yeah,
But
but
Frankie
I think
himself-
But they heard about him.
I think he from
I don't know if he
Goochland.
went to school out there or something. I'm not sure.
I didn't know
To
that.
where how he
Nah.
linked up with them. But yeah, he's
But
from
the-
somewhere in Virginia.
The song is a classic, like and like you said, like as far as coming up, like.
And I don't think Before
thought
I
they were
Let Go
great.
ever got
Like-
the respect that it deserves. Like, we played it every now and again at the cookouts.
I mean,
every
amongst
song,
us, I
but-
think it did. I just think as
The radio was like it always got played.
a pop thing. It's not really,
Yeah, pop.
I
You know
don't
what I'm
think
saying?
I don't think that brother got paid like talking about
Yeah.
Money. Yeah, you're right.
And he sat there and he was like, I was so excited when she asked me if she could remake this song. He said, because nobody's remade it. He said, and then he said a lot of newspapers, he was like, a lot of magazines that I've always wanted to be in, now they want to interview me because she's breathed new life into this song. So I think, on the business end, I think it's going to be really dope for Maze and Frankie Beverly and their families. And I think she put a new spin on it. I think a lot of people will enjoy it if they give it a chance. But I thought it was pretty.
How long do you think Netflix gonna be around spending all
it's
this
that
money?
generational wealth. I mean, they get their money though.
They get it. Every time we turn around, Netflix is like, we're sorry, but we're taking it up $2.
Yeah. And another thing,
They
Netflix.
definitely-
If anything, Netflix has to watch out for Disney. Disney's coming.
Yeah.
Disney's
Disney
What I'm
is
saying,
definitely coming.
when is gonna
If
come a
ABC
time when they
doesn't come.
overprice
All these
their
other
products?
little, like,
Because
individual-
Netflix really
Nah.
don't produce. I mean, they don't have nothing.
They're
but
not overpriced. If anything, Netflix is taking over the game.
Netflix is taking over.
You got to
the
think
game.
because they have the movies. Their specials are getting better and better. The Central Park 5 is on there.
Yeah,
That's what
but-
I'm about to get
but
to.
they-
Can we get to that? The Central Park
Oh,
5?
Yeah.
we'll get there.
And the money, because Oprah executive produced that documentary with our good friend that we talked about earlier, the King, Robert De Niro.
yeah.
Those are the two people that executive produced that.
Oh, Bobby put that money up. Get out of
I
here.
didn't know
Bobby
that.
put the money up with
Oh
Oprah.
man.
Shout out to
Shout out
Tribeca.
to Bobby.
Well, shout out to Bobby.
Hold
Shout out
on,
to Tribeca.
you say Robert De Niro?
Bobby been down for a
Niro.
while though.
Robert
on
De
the
Niro.
low.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Robert has been funding a lot of black projects for years.
Yes.
You can't be married to a black woman and not care about the culture.
No.
No, that's a
Well,
fact.
we know you're a fan of The Bronx Tale.
Absolutely.
Yeah, shout out Bobby De Niro, man, who's not afraid to speak his mind on anything.
No. And he'll talk that mess to Trump too.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, I wanna watch
I
it.
Me
want to
either.
see it.
I haven't
and
It's so
seen it.
powerful though.
Y'all haven't seen
I
it.
want to see it,
I mean,
and at the
I've
same
seen
time,
it.
I don't. It's like
No, I want to see it.
It's so.
I'm going to see it.
I'm gonna watch it this weekend. I was
Y'all
gonna watch it
usually
tonight.
like on it.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm on it.
I'm
It's
gonna
just
see
the
it.
fact that
I already know everything that
I'm
went down
going to
with
feel
it,
a type
so,
of way.
You
Don't
know,
worry
this
about
just
that,
gonna
we
be
going through it.
this just gonna be a refresher
Yeah.
and bring you to everything that went on with it. You know?
And with the Trump comments from back then, they're coming back to light. Also, the
heard about that.
what's the lady's
Prosecutor.
name? Lisa
Feinstein.
Yeah, they're coming for her. The
And they
things that she
should.
said
But-
back then, and now she's what she has a book or whatnot.
She has a multitude of books, and a lot of places
a lot of
are
bestsellers.
getting her books up out of the building. She can't have her books at Barnes and Nobles or Books A Million. Her publicist and the publisher that does all her books has just dropped her, even though she said that they wouldn't do that. They did decide to terminate their relationship with her. So,
Don't forget about her nonprofit too. They got rid
they
of her
got
too.
her off the board for the nonprofit.
Yep.
So she is just taking L's left and right.
And of course,
Yeah.
she's saying that they're saying that the tale is it's a tale. It's not.
No, it's true.
Yeah.
She
But-
said they are guilty of something. They might not have been guilty of this, but they're guilty of something, so they deserve that time.
But she
in
also
prison.
said that all black men are
Are
guilty.
super predators.
That's right.
Yep.
Yeah, they all. Yeah. Ooh,
They're all
Yeah.
super predators. Get these thugs who are
Yeah.
out here wilding out.
So all of them out there was guilty of something.
Absolutely. So she told him to round up all the black boys.
But the thing is that I learned from it is you need to tell your kids, if you ever in the police presence, do not tell them nothing because they are not there for your better good.
People need to establish with their children. Somebody told me, I had one friend who, his son is 10 years old. His son taller than me. And he actually said he has not watched the documentary yet and he doesn't want to have that talk with him. I said, well, you can have a talk with him or it'll be too late because your son my size.
He sound like the daddy that was like, just sign it.
Just tell them what they want to hear.
Yeah.
And we going to leave tonight. The boy was there for 7 years.
Hell no, yeah.
Don't tell them nothing.
Have the hard conversations with your children before the streets do. And then it's too late.
I was reading this week, Apple, which is why I'm an iPhone fan. They have, I don't know if Google has it, so I'm not going to shit on it, but
Probably
it's a short, it's an app, it's a shortcut app, and it's set up where when you get pulled, by the police, you can just be like, Siri, I'm being pulled over. And she will go in where she'll start recording.
Yep.
I mean, Google probably has it. I just haven't located it yet. But yeah, we probably have something like that.
We're not going to hold the whole Google thing against you.
Please don't.
They should turn the camera on for you too.
Hello.
Google, I'm getting pulled over and the camera automatically come on.
Yeah. No doubt.
Cause that camera right there is the equalizer.
It's getting real now.
It's the equalizer,
Yeah. I mean, that's really like the only reason, like in the past, I would say 6-7 years, while we've discovered the,
Yeah.
But the crazy thing is,
reemergence of, the injustice that
Imagine if Mike
place.
Brown would have had a camera phone on.
I mean, Sandra Bland had one, and they just found hers.
Yeah.
They just found it,
But at the same time, I mean,
within 30
we
days.
have the camera phones, we're videoing, we're doing the recording, and I mean,
Still dying.
it's still being, it's still
What
happening.
is it, Philando Castle? His girlfriend recorded his whole shooting right there.
Yeah. I mean, it's just.
So what is it going to take? At what level is it going to take?
It's gonna take
we can go
more.
to federal, and that's too like thin.
It's going to take more black people stepping up and getting in these positions of power.
Well, segue to the Joe No Show.
Joe No Show.
We were going to talk about those issues.
If you were here, you could have defended yourself.
Yeah.
But you decided not to.
How the
So
police
now you
was
have
gonna,
to get raped.
how the police was going to go in the community.
Oh, God.
I think a lot of times the police is not in the community that they're supposed to be protecting, and so they're, instead of protecting the community,
You don't
they're
feel they have a vested
fighting a
interest?
war in the community.
Well, also, it's a double-edged sword, man. Being the background that I have, I know with that, some of these people are being trained.
For war.
It's like don't trust anybody.
Yeah.
But when you watch the news, when you see our neighborhoods, that's what you see. You see crime, and poverty or whatever. So these guys who've never been in this environment, when it comes to this environment, they're
on high
already
alert.
they're on edge. So to be honest, that's something that we can control as well. We can try to work together, unite, to clean up our own neighborhoods, police ourselves.
Yeah.
Neighborhood watches, they just completely died.
With the whole Richmond thing, with the girl getting, shot at the park during, what was it, a reunion or?
It was a
community
party.
day.
Yeah.
But I think they're gonna find them guys.
But here's the
They already know
thing,
it was
why?
3 guys.
I mean, they haven't yet. Are we gonna say that? Let's be real. Somebody,
Who's to say they don't know
somebody
who the
knows.
3 are? They just don't have enough evidence right now to bring them in.
Somebody knows, man. Somebody knows. Now, I don't know if it's like the whole no snitching thing or maybe retaliation. I don't know. But, hey, man, it's kids involved. Just like in these neighborhoods, it's kids involved. And we was going to get Joe out here. We're going to talk about that. During his, when he announced his campaign, he said that he proposed to strengthen Petersburg. And I really wanted to know, and what steps was he going to do? Because, there's the crime, there's the education problem, and jobs. I had talked to somebody this week, and they're saying that, there's jobs around the area that, the people in Petersburg can be employed with. But I mean, within the city itself, to bring jobs into the city, creates revenue for the city.
Yeah, but I don't think Petersburg, as a demographic, have enough area to bring jobs in that would handle the opportunity that you are talking about. That's why they don't have the land to bring a big factory to Petersburg.
I mean, we had all these factories that were
Yeah,
here,
but the factories
and they turned them
apartments
into
now.
lofts or whatnot. The areas
That's what he's
here.
saying. It's like
You don't
the
have-
areas that y'all had that were utilized as factories and buildings and Star Tobacco and everything have become apartments or day centers and different things. So
Wow.
that area is gone.
With that being said, let's talk about the eyesore in Petersburg.
What's the
The whole, you seen it coming down 95.
Oh, that apartment?
No,
Nah,
the
what is it?
hotel.
It was
that
it was
It was
a
a
hotel.
hotel.
Yeah.
yeah, but I mean, look at it now.
Yeah.
Things were supposed to be done with that. I've heard that is the city holding it back or what? What's going on with that?
Well, from what I heard, a guy put in a bid for it, and they accepted his bid, and he's been telling people for a couple years, "Oh, I'm gonna get to it. I'm gonna get to it.
So he got it already, but he
I'm
just
gonna
sitting
get
on
to
it.
it. I'm gonna get to it."
So somebody done bought it.
Wow.
He said, "I'm gonna get to it."
Well, they said that homeless people were
That's
standing
in-house.
there,
They were.
and which
That's
I
why
mean, I'm
most
not going to speak bad on that because
That's why most of the time you see the police right there now because homeless people were.
but the graffiti, the windows are busted out. It's just it looks bad.
Yeah.
If anything, I don't think it's repairable.
Oh no,
They're gonna have to knock it down.
Yeah.
and build it from the ground up.
But also, I heard that they were gonna knock it down and they were gonna do like some commercial stuff around it, and try to redevelop the whole area.
Which would be hard because you got the bridge right there, you got the highway right there,
Yeah.
and then behind it, I don't know if y'all ever went into that hotel, but with that hotel, it has parking kind of up under it, so you kind of go through a tunnel to get down to the back part of Petersburg when you're going out of Petersburg, because it's like one way into Petersburg and one way out. So I don't know how they're gonna put stuff around it. It would just be like pretty difficult.
I said just knock it down. If you're not gonna do anything with it, knock it down. It's not a good look. They did
don't
like
see
the little
anybody.
red thing on the bridge or whatever. They try to. I don't know what was the purpose of that.
They want it to be inviting.
Kind of like
welcome
the H, like the H in Hopewell.
Hey,
With a
we're-
welcome?
Listen. Our H is letting
I'm
y'all
sorry.
know we are full of
Hey.
hope.
That's what H means.
That's what it means.
Okay.
We're full of hope with the H. Don't say nothing.
So
else.
do they need a big P right there? Just knock it down and put a big P right there. That's what they need to do.
I'm saying. All I'm saying is with the H, people ain't giving it a chance, but the H does mean hope. I was born in Roanoke, and a lot of people were not crazy about the star that was put up there on that mountain, but now that star is their main attraction. And people come from out of the town, other towns to visit it, take pictures and stuff, and now it's Star City. So, y'all
So now y'all are H City. That's what you're saying.
full of hope.
Okay.
Hope.
But
This city is brought to you by the letter H.
but back to you on the job thing. I think there's plenty of jobs in Petersburg if you want to work. You got Lindell's, you got Walmart, Amazon. How many more factories you need?
Well, I mean, my thing it isn't the factories.
You have to be mindful of the demographic. When it comes to jobs like that, some of those jobs don't pay what it costs to live in decent areas. So you have the Walmarts that are not always hiring. And I just say this from where I work at. I do social services. So we are always trying to get people jobs. But unfortunately, a lot of mitigating circumstances happen. Okay, I got a job at Walmart. Whoop-de-doo. How do I get there? I don't have a car. It's all these
Well,
different
I mean,
things.
But I heard
We
they
have-
have services that'll
Yeah.
take you to work.
They have those buses, but what if they can't afford them? So, the better paying jobs are outside of the city. And that's just being completely honest. The better paying jobs, like you were told, they are outside of the city.
Well, since we're being completely honest.
Amazon was paying 17. My
Let's-
son was working there making 17 an
But
hour.
let's talk about
That's good money.
That's good money.
we're not going to down talk the available jobs, but let's talk about the work ethic. Yeah. I was at Walmart. What was it last week? And somebody put a bug in my ear about something on sale, so I went there, and I asked the girl, could she go in the back to see if it was available or whatever. And she went back there. She was gone for like 15 minutes, and when she came back, I didn't, I wanted to, but she hurried up and ran back there before I can get the information out. So when she got back, I was like, well, it's another one back there. And she had an attitude. And she was like, look, it took me forever to find this one. I don't know if there's another one back there. Like, she didn't want to go look. And I was like, well, I'm sorry that you came to work today, but, I need you to go back there and look or whatever. And she had to act like she stormed out, was saying stuff under her breath or whatnot, but I can, pretty much hear. It's like, customer service is very important.
Absolutely.
It's very important. And you're not going to always step into the best job.
Yeah. But your first job that you get is your first boss is your parent. And if your parent don't teach you how to act, then the boss at a job is not going to. Well, and that's what you're going to get.
We talked about this in episode 4 about, with, kids in school, like if they're being mischievous or whatever, and, parents are being called, and instead of handling the problem, they're wondering, what did the teacher do?
Yeah. Yeah. The parent worse than the teacher.
They're very competitive against the teacher.
I mean, the parent is worse than the student.
I mean, that's something we're gonna like. Customer service is important. Like you have to start somewhere. Do your job.
That's it.
It sets you up. I don't know how it works now. If you work at some place and you apply for another job, if they call that, do they still call for references or whatnot?
Sometimes. Yeah. It depends on the job.
Yeah. But I mean,
sometimes they'll ask you, can we call your previous employer?
I don't think Walmart calling Target. Like, how was he at Walmart?
Yeah, but I mean, just whatever you do, man. Like, just try to do your best, man. Like nobody really wants.
Even if you work in fast food, be the best fast food employee.
And can I get more than one barbecue sauce?
Can I get some ketchup?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Not one ketchup. You ain't paying for it.
Why is that offensive?
They act like they paying for the ketchup.
Burger King charged me 25 cents for ketchup.
Yo, I would have went ham.
Yeah, man.
25 cents
for ketchup?
Now, I mean, do I need Burger King? No. But I wanted it that day.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
And you want a great service.
I can get goddamn
Polynesian sauce all day.
I can get 100 Polynesians for nothing.
Yep, ketchup too. They put the ketchup out there and said, take as much as you want.
And do you realize Chick-fil-A can say whatever they want to say and get away with it?
Yeah.
They didn't believe in the gay marriage. Nobody boycotted Chick-fil-A.
No, it was good. Even
in Georgia,
was it Butter Chew? Butter Chew? What's the guy running for president?
Running for president?
Yeah, he's running for president. Governor Butter Chew.
I don't know.
I think it's Butter Chew.
Yeah, that's Google that. Let's Google that.
Google that.
Seems like we're.
Yeah, but
he
said he ain't boycotting Chick-fil-A.
Well, Chick-fil-A is so gangster. They opened a new stadium in Atlanta, and football games are played on Sunday. They have Chick-fil-A's inside the stadium. They're closed on Sunday.
Yeah, they ain't changing for nobody.
What you're saying is
there's Chick-fil-A's inside with the Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
Yep.
Closed on Sunday.
Mm-hmm. Holy shit.
Yep. They said they ain't changing for nobody.
Nobody.